Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Kelly's Creative Dream Studios. And I am recording this on Sunday. As you are watching this, if you're watching this on Monday, I will be on my way to just outside of Chattanooga, Tennessee. And I'm traveling all this week, so I'm spending this as much as I can today trying to get all the videos for this week recorded, so all I have to do is upload them while I'm gone. So it is All Things Altered. So we are altering today. Now I put this in the center camera wise, but also to show this because I'm using from this sticker book again today. So I'm going to set this aside and hope I don't misplace where I put it. And for All Things Altered today, I'm using this tag or label that came off of a bathroom rug I bought just yesterday. So I thought, let's put it to use. So for this journal, I'm going to make a small notebook, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to make it using the papers from this paper pad collection that I've been using, Retired Stampin' Up! Hostess set. And I have everything measured for this. The outside of this, and able to give me room to wrap around the spine, is 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. I mean, to wrap around the edge. And then the spine is 4 3/4 by 1.5 inches for the cover. So we're going to do that first. And I have the pieces already cut. And because this is a slick surface, I think I want to use my Cosmic Shimmer glue. And let's give it a test and make sure I can get glue out of the bottle before we go anywhere. There we go. Okay, so I have pre-cut everything to make this process go a little faster. Now I'm using this floral print on the outside. And remember, with this paper collection, you get a pretty print on one side and you get black and white contrast on the other. So for the front, I'm going to use the pattern. And then on the back, on the inside, I'm going to use the black and white reverse. So I'm going to go ahead and probably put on my cheaters because it's one of those mornings. I've been up about an hour. I have my coffee. I take that back. I have my lemon water. I have taken care of all the animals. And if you don't know about lemon water, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, preferably fresh, or I use the 100% lemon juice, will help detoxify your liver. So if you've overindulged the night before in something you probably shouldn't have been drinking, or you just want to make sure that you keep your liver detoxed, and that's important, particularly if you're diabetic, to make sure you keep that liver detoxed, keep it cleaned out. So I start my morning with a cup of lemon water, which is 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and just warm water to drink. I get that down before I'm allowed my coffee in the morning. Now, here's my pointer. Where that fold is at, I'm going to lay my paper just inside of that fold so I don't have any extra bulk on that fold. And I'm probably going to get squeegee on my glue on my mat, but better on my mat than on me, which you know I usually wear. And this one can come in just a little bit. There we go. And it's okay if you've got a gap there because we're going to cover it up with the spine anyway. And then I'm just going to come in and clip right at my corners. Now, this isn't one of my big journals, so I'm not concerned about whether or not where I'm at on that corner, or I'd use my corner cruncher from Madi. It's actually by We Are Memory Keepers. Now see, this one should have came down just a little bit farther. And I don't know. Yeah, that's the first one I glued down, and I'm not going to be able to move it. So you'll have that. Yeah, so this will crease easier. I'm going to lay this flat, and I'm going to bend this up just like this. And I'm going to do that on all 3 sides, on both sides of the notebook. I am excited for this trip, but on the other side, I'm just really ready to stay home. We ran so much last week, and I'm just over it. Okay, now I can come back with my glue, now that I've creased those in. And I'm going to run the glue on the paper, not on the base. And I'm running it right up along the edge of that base so that I get a good adhesion. Excuse me, I get a good adhesion in that crease line. And you know I'm going to wear this when I do this. Could have used a little bit more glue under there. But that's okay. It'll hold down. And we're going to put a top paper on this, so we'll be okay. It'll hold everything down. Okay. Now you'll see I have holes in the spine. That's going to be for my lacing because I do have papers to put on the inside. What I did was I cut down the papers that were left from my Traveler's Notebook project on Saturday. If you've not seen that, I'll link the video down below. It is what I'm using to document my trip. I have 3 signatures, one for the leaving Missouri and coming back, and then a signature for things that I find and do in Kentucky and things that I find and do in Tennessee. Now, I did mention Kentucky because after I leave my brother-in-law's in Tennessee, I'm going to go up and see my granddaughters in Kentucky, in Kentucky for a couple of days. So I've got 3 states I'm going to be traveling through, and I want to document everything. Okay, so now we have that. Now, because this is not slick, I'm going to go ahead and put my Cosmic Shimmer away. Just like that. And I'll have to come back and wash that tube later. And now I have, let's go ahead and do this. I have this green. So I'm going to come in with my Tombow on this one. And I'm just going to run a bead of glue about 1/4 of an inch over top of that. And then I'm going to, I probably should use my Cosmic Shimmer because that's still the slick stuff. Put my Cosmic Shimmer down there. I love my Cosmic Shimmer glue. It will adhere to anything slick. Takes a little bit to dry, but that's fine. Okay, so now I can do this. I'm going to try and make sure I get this green a little more even than I did the outside papers. And see, it's not quite in the center. Maybe I can do this. That's a little closer. Okay. Not exactly straight either, is it? There we go. But with the Tombow, we have a little bit of time to mess with, so we can do that. And then I'm going to do the same thing here that I did on the other. Crease it up first. And then I'm going to go ahead and run glue. And run glue. Now, I am not going to stitch this signature in on camera, but it will be available for you to see in the final clip through. I will get it stitched in as soon as I'm done recording so that it will be done. Now, so I know where those holes are at before I do my center signature. I'm going to take my Tim Holtz pokey tool because it's a little wider. Well, actually, what I did for these, I used the 1/8 inch punch. And for to go on the inside, it's not going to let me, there we go. It's not going to let me go all the way to the inside. There we go. Got that extra paper in there. Because I don't want to lose where that hole's at. Okay. Just like that. And I think I'm going to do one in the center. So let's use our Tim Holtz pokey tool. And I want to go, I'm just eyeballing where that center's at. So this will wind up being a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Just like that. Now that 3/8 inch wouldn't come all the way through, so that's okay. But that's why I used my Tim Holtz, because it has a wider poke to it. And I can always come back in with my awl and get an even deeper one if I want to. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see if the one from Stampin' Up! Is any thicker. I think it is. I think it is. Oh, yeah. That's closer to that 1/8. So there's the Stampin' Up! Pokey tool. Okay, we have that. So now we have that in. Smooth that out. And now I'm coming in with the black and white on this side. And it's okay. I want to make sure that when I put it in here, That's not exactly centered because I want to make sure that I'm going to be able to cover that spine area. So this needs to come in just a little bit more. And I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to mark that so I make sure that I get this in close enough. Make sure I get this in close enough when I get ready to lay that other one down. Okay, so we're going to lay that right there. So that gives me a glue line. Just like that. Gives me a placement marking. And because this side isn't slick, I can use my Tombow. I'm going to come back in and I'm going to put the glue on the paper, I think. That way I make sure I get it where I need it to be. Move this up and I scribble, 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 scribble. Now remember, with liquid glues, you don't need to go completely to the edge because as you lay it down and adhere it down into place, you're going to squish that glue to your edges. So it's going to work just fine. And let's make sure we get up there against that. Okay. And we're going to go around our edge. You know, I've had better luck staying in camera frame since I got this mat than anything else I've used. I know if I'm in the center of the green mat, for the most part, you'll be able to see everything I do. And because there's no direction to this, it's okay. Right up against there like that. And don't worry about your pencil mark showing because you're going to cover it up with your spine piece. So you'll be fine. You'll be fine. It is a muggy morning in the Ozarks already. Bob and I went out yesterday morning before it got too hot and we planted 8 watermelon, and 7 cucumber, and what else did I plant? Oh, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 red potatoes. Now, I'm not sure if the red potatoes are going to sprout because they were pretty old sitting on the counter and they had all really good eyes to them. I'm just not sure if they were good enough. Now, that this glue is dry, while it's still a little damp, I'm going to go ahead and crease that fold. That way, while that glue is still damp, I have a little bit of give. And I can do that, and while I've got that crease, then I can come back down and re-glue that down, press it into place, and there we go. There is our cover. Okay, now, the papers that I chose were leftovers from the Traveler's Notebook that I did, so they're not all the same size, but I wanted to show you this one. Now, these are cut 3 inches by 7 inches so that they fit inside, and then they're folded. Now they're a little short, but that's okay. But so that they are the width of the book. So I have some of those. I have some lined ones. And then I did this one. This was one of the white ones. And I made it 9 inches so that I could fold it in half for my signature. And then so I'd have a little bit of a flip. Now I folded these to the inside and I didn't get really picky about the measurement on how far I folded them back, just whatever looked good. So these I'm going to fold this way. Okay, just like that. Now the thing about the lemon water is you're going to need food. So how many of these do I have? I have 2, 3, 4 of those. And as I said, my white ones are not all the same measure. So let's start with, let's see, that one's, and these came from a composition book, so they're already seamed in the center. So let's put a couple of these together. I think there's 2 there already, so let's do 2. And let's do 1. And then let's do these shorter pieces, and I think there's 2 there. There is, and then we'll come back in with one of our folded ones. And then we need 1, 2, and then one of these. And I thought there was 2 there, but my fingers aren't letting me do it one-handed. Yeah, there are 2, so we'll put those in there. And then we'll bring our other folded one in. And I'm just going to do this double one. I'm not going to use this one. We'll set it off to the side. Now, we have our holes there. Let me put a paper clip on these really quick. And I'm going to go ahead and repoke those. And since I know my pokey tool from Stampin' Up! Is really close, it's the only one I'm going to use. And I'm just going to give me indentation marks there. And then I'll come through so I can shove that through on the wider hole. Now, when I come in and stitch this in, I will mark those holes. And it looks like I might miss that top one. We'll see. Might miss that top one. But before I do anything else, I said I will do that on camera. What I've done is I've come through and I have picked out some of my laces that I had ready for this. And my fabric scissors are not over here. They must be over on the table. So let me grab those really, really super quick. Well, as quick as I can hobble this morning. My body has not woken up yet, so we're getting there. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to cut out one of these floral medallions, and I want that one right there that has the whole petals. So I'm going to snip him out, just like this. Let's see, where am I at here? Right there. Because I want to put one of these daisies on here. When I started this project with this paper pad, I had gone through and picked out everything that I needed that I wanted to work with. So I have laces and I have trims. The only thing I hadn't put in there was baker's twine. And that's why I want to go ahead and do this. Aside from my trimmers making it harder for me to do on camera anymore, I need to pick out a baker's twine color to stitch this book together with. But you will see the stitched version when I do the flip through, whenever I'm finished with our crafting and the waiting, our All Things Altered. Now I'm not sure how long I'm going to be a part of this series. We'll see how it goes. Don't need that piece. Where'd my flower go? I knew I had one more spot here. I needed a clip right there and right there. Okay, so there's that. And I do have my little bottle of fabric tack, but before I glue anything down, I do know I also want to include one of these stickers, maybe. Might be too much. Might be too much. I love these carnations. I think I'm going to reserve the stickers for pockets and tucks. Now that I look at that. But let's look at this. We are at 19 minutes, so we are just about done for the morning. I do think I want to do that. But this needs something behind it. This needs something behind it. Maybe, I think Flirty Flamingo is one of the colors that's with this paper pack. So let's see if we can put maybe a medallion behind there. Let's take that and our... I really want to use a scallop here. That's not going to be big enough. I guess we're using the... No, that one's not a scallop. I want to put a scallop back there, darn it. I don't have a scallop in that size without getting out the die cutting. So let's use our 1 3/4 punch. Punch out a circle from our flirty flamingo. Then that's gonna let that pop. And then let's come in here with our distress. Probably could have used a different color to distress this with, but that's okay. It is what it is. And then I'm just gonna swirl my glue on here. Am I in camera? Pretty close. I'm gonna swirl my glue on here and pop it into place right there. And then we're going to come back with the fabric tack, which I don't use often, but I like this fine detail tip on here. It doesn't seem to want to come out. Fabric tack is too thick for that, apparently. After I went to all that trouble to cut that bottle down. Okay, let's get that back in there. And let's go to my standby. And we will just use a pick. Thought I had a pick. We'll use this pick. And we'll just come in here with this, brush it into place. And I'm thinking we might need bling in the center. I'll have to play with that idea. Just want to make sure that this gets glued down. Okay. And what do we have for bling over here? Something that I can get to quick. Flipping. We want flat bling, and I don't know if I can get to any fast enough. Here we go. These will be. I have so much bling over here, most of it from Stampin' Up. And that's fine. Let's get my smaller pick here. And let's put one of these in the center. Nope, they're too small. Okay, I will do this, and I will show you how I decorate that with the bling on the flip through. I'm also out of time for today, but I am going to plan on taking the pink lace, and I think I want to do it just on the bottom. Just on the bottom. You know what? We're right here. Let's just do that. Let's just do that. And I use my trusty little brush here. And I'm not going to put it on the spine. Just on the base of the book itself. Okay. And let's do this. Put it on the back too. Yep. See, my fingers are sticking. I've gotten into the wet glue. I'm going to wear it. Okay. And then when we put our pages in there, and I may fix that. I may go all the way across. We can do that right now. We can fix that. And that's going to do it for me in the studio today. I will be back here tomorrow for a Tag Tuesday. And I saw a video this week that intrigued me. We are going to layer up to step down. You're going to want to come back and check that out. In the meantime, remember to like, to share, subscribe, and creative blessings.